chosen one. You unexpectedly beat the best player, and the universe made sure everyone saw it. The game flipped in your favor without you forcing a single move. You sat there calm, patient, underestimated, while the self-proclaimed champion bragged about being unbeatable. What's happening now isn't luck, it's divine correction. Every loss, every rejection, every time they mocked your silence was preparation for this exact moment. You were never outplayed, you were observing, learning, evolving. Now the same ones who laughed are speechless because your quiet strength just dethroned their arrogance. And now when your final move lands, it'll be undeniable. Humility just conquered pride, and the underdog everyone dismissed has become the legend nobody can ignore. This person is used to winning, always winning. Built an entire identity around being the best, the smartest, the most skilled, the one nobody can beat. And comfort set in. Too much comfort. Started believing press releases. Started thinking invincibility was real. Started treating everyone else at the table like peasants, especially you. Looked at you and saw someone who did not belong, someone who could not compete, someone who was only at the table because there were not enough players. That was the mistake, the fatal miscalculation, because while arrogance was performing, while that mouth was running and the audience was being entertained, something was happening nobody could see. You were being prepared, trained, equipped. Every game you lost taught you something. Every time embarrassment came in front of others, you learned patterns. Every time celebration happened too early, you studied weaknesses. You were not just sitting there taking losses. You were gathering intelligence, building strategy, waiting for the moment when you would have the ammunition to strike back. And that moment is now. See, you were supposedly figured out. Your limits were supposedly known. What you were capable of was supposedly understood, and it was not much. But here is what nobody knew. You were not showing everything. You were holding back, staying patient, waiting for the perfect opportunity. And while underestimation was happening, the divine was loading you up, giving you insight others do not have, giving you wisdom others cannot access, giving you supernatural advantage that has nothing to do with natural ability. You have got something nobody prepared for, and when you reveal it, when you start throwing these spades, realization is going to hit that this is something that should have been avoided. You have got information, real information, the kind of information that changes everything. Some of you just found out something you were not supposed to know. You overheard a conversation. You received a message. You stumbled upon documents. You asked one simple question that unraveled a whole web of deception. And now you are sitting there with receipts, with evidence, with proof, and nobody has any idea you know. Everyone is still operating like secrets are safe, like plans are hidden, like manipulations are working. But you see everything now. This is your secret weapon. This is the cannon nobody knew you had in your tank. And you have not fired it yet. You are just sitting there, watching, waiting, letting talk continue, letting confidence continue, letting control continue to feel real. Because the bigger the talk, the harder the fall, the more confident the appearance, the more devastating it will be when you expose what you know. And you know exactly when to do it. Not too early, not when it will not matter, but at the exact perfect moment when it will have maximum impact. Some of you were divinely led to this information. You were not even looking for it. You were minding your business, and suddenly there it was, right in front of you, too obvious to miss, too important to ignore. That was not coincidence, that was divine setup. The universe positioned you to discover exactly what you needed to know, at exactly the right time, and now you are armed, loaded, ready. You have got the kind of advantage that cannot be taught or purchased. You have got supernatural intelligence, prophetic insight, divine revelation, and when you deploy it, when you start using what you know, the whole game is going to shift. Watch the face right now. Watch how realization is starting to hit that something might be wrong. Cards got picked up expecting to see what always appears, the winning combination, the dominant position, the guaranteed victory. But something is off. Looking at that hand and the confidence is not there. The certainty is not there. Rearranging cards multiple times hoping it looks better from a different angle is happening, and it does not. A glance goes over to the partner, and the partner looks miserable too, and that is when it starts to sink in. If the spades are not over there and the partner does not have the spades, then somebody else at this table does, and suspicion is starting to grow that it might be you. But acceptance cannot happen yet. Belief cannot happen yet, because accepting it means accepting that everything assumed was wrong, that the read on you was completely inaccurate. That severe underestimation happened with someone who should have been watched more carefully. So what arrogant people always do when reality does not match expectations is going to happen now. Bluffing is going to happen. Talking even bigger is going to happen. Trying to intimidate through this situation is going to happen. Acting like control still exists even though internal panic is starting is going to happen. And you are going to let it happen. You are going to sit there with that calm expression, not saying much, not showing your hand, just watching the performance, because every word that gets said right now is going to make what is about to happen even sweeter. Every boast, every declaration, every reminder of past victories, all of it is going to make the upcoming defeat that much more satisfying. A grave is being dug with that mouth, and you are just sitting there letting the digging continue, because you know something beautiful. The bigger the mouth, the louder the silence when you shut it. Now it is your turn. Time to start throwing spades. Time to start making moves. Time to start revealing what you have been holding. And the first one you throw down is going to change the entire energy at this table. You are going to do something you have never done before. You are going to speak with an authority you have never accessed before. You are going to move with a confidence that does not come from ego, but from certainty, from knowing you cannot lose, from understanding that every card you are about to play is a winner. The person across from you is about to feel something that has not been felt in years. Fear. Real fear. The kind that comes from suddenly realizing you are in over your head. The kind that comes from understanding miscalculation happened badly. The kind that comes from watching someone you dismissed absolutely dominate you in front of everyone. And there is nothing that can be done about it. Talking out of this cannot happen. Manipulating out of this cannot happen. Intimidating out of this cannot happen. All that can happen is sitting there and taking it, and hoping it ends quickly. But it will not, because you are going to make sure everyone sees, everyone understands, everyone learns what happens when you underestimate the wrong person. What you are about to do is not just winning. This is making a statement. You are establishing that there is a cost to disrespect, a price to pay for arrogance, a consequence for treating people like garbage, and that cost is being beaten publicly by the very person dismissed privately. That price is watching someone you called inadequate prove exceptional ability. That consequence is having to face everyone you told about limitations while demonstration of capabilities happens. You are not just taking your victory, you are making sure the lesson is learned, making sure the message is received, making sure this never happens again. If these words stirred your consciousness, hype this video to help more chosen ones awaken to this. The lion is being felt. You walked in this room and the atmosphere changed. There is a presence you are carrying that has nothing to do with your physical size or your volume or your aggression. Something spiritual is happening. Something powerful is happening. Something that makes people instinctively recognize someone operating on a different level is here. You might be sitting there calm and quiet, but that roar is being felt, that power is being felt, and deep discomfort is happening. This is what chosen ones carry when stepping into authority. This is not arrogance. This is not ego. This is certainty. This is the kind of unshakable confidence that comes from knowing you are backed by something bigger than yourself. You are not fighting this battle alone. You are not moving in your own strength. You are not operating from your own wisdom. Divine backing is here. Supernatural support is here. Spiritual reinforcement is here. And on some level sensing is happening. On some level knowing is happening. That this is not just another human opponent. This is someone connected to power that cannot be understood and cannot be accessed. And that scares, really scares, Because the whole strategy has always been intimidation, making other people feel small, so feeling big can happen. But you are not feeling small, you are not intimidated, you are not backing down or second-guessing yourself. You are sitting there with this quiet strength that cannot be shaken, this unmoving confidence that cannot be rattled, this clear-eyed certainty that cannot be undermined. And for the first time in a long time, feeling small is happening to someone else. Feeling uncertain is happening to someone else. Questioning whether this game should have been started at all is happening to someone else. What you are doing right now is not just about this moment. You are creating a memory that is going to echo through generations. You are establishing a standard that is going to set the tone for everyone who comes after you. You are breaking a pattern that has existed for too long. For years, maybe decades, maybe generations, this dynamic has existed where certain people always won and certain people always lost, where certain people had power and certain people had to accept it, where certain people talked big and certain people had to stay quiet. And you are about to end that dynamic forever. This victory is going to ripple through your entire bloodline. Your children are going to grow up hearing the story about the time you beat the unbeatable. Your spiritual sons and daughters are going to reference this moment when courage is needed to face their own giants. Your community is going to remember this as the day everything changed, the day someone finally stood up, finally spoke up, finally showed everyone that the emperor had no clothes. And because you did it, because you had the courage to step into this moment, everyone connected to you is going to benefit. You are not just winning for yourself, you are winning for everyone who has been dismissed, everyone who has been underestimated, everyone who has been told what they lack. Your victory gives permission to believe winning is possible too. Your breakthrough proves that the system can be challenged. Your success demonstrates that supernatural backing beats natural advantage every single time. This is bigger than you. This is legacy. This is generational shift. This is the kind of moment that changes family trees and redefines what is possible. Think about what you are actually doing right here. You are taking everything that was passed down to you, all the wisdom, all the experience, all the lessons learned through hardship, and you are using it all in this one moment. You are incorporating everything you know, everything you have learned, everything you have survived, and you are applying it with such precision that something new is being created, a new approach, a new strategy, a new way of winning that people have not seen before. You are blending the old wisdom with new revelation, the traditional understanding with supernatural insight, and that combination is unstoppable. Fury is going to happen, humiliation is going to happen, desperation is going to happen, and desperate people do desperate things. Some people would rather destroy the whole game than watch you walk away with the title. Some people would rather burn everything down than accept getting beat. You need to understand that winning this battle might trigger a war, and you need to be ready for it. This is where a lot of chosen ones make mistakes. Winning the visible battle happens, but protecting from the invisible retaliation does not happen. Celebrating the victory happens, but guarding against the backlash does not happen. Exposing the enemy happens, but anticipating the counterattack does not happen. Do not be that person. Be smart, be strategic, be protected, because the person you just humiliated is going to go into a dark place. Pride and ego and rage are going to drive decisions, and things that seem crazy to everyone watching but make perfect sense to someone who cannot accept defeat are going to happen. Here is what is about to happen over the coming days. You are going to be at the center of debates and competition. People are going to be talking about you, questioning you, analyzing you, some with genuine curiosity, some with pure jealousy, some trying to figure out how you did what you did so replicating it or preventing it from happening again becomes possible. And you are going to be right there in the middle of all of it, not hiding, not shrinking back, not apologizing for your success, but standing firm in what you accomplished. Expect conversations you did not initiate. Expect questions you did not invite. Expect scrutiny you did not ask for. Because when you beat the best player, when you do what people thought was impossible, when you rise from dismissed to dominant, Everyone wants to understand how. Everyone wants to know if luck or skill caused this. Everyone wants to determine if you are a legitimate threat or a one-time anomaly, and you are going to show everyone through your consistency, through your continued excellence, through the way you handle both victory and the attention that comes with it. A lot has been going on in the atmosphere that you could not see. You have been a target, a focus of attention and energy that you were not fully aware of. People have been watching you, studying you, planning around you, making decisions based on keeping you in a certain position, and you might have felt it, that sense that something was happening in the shadows, that intuition that told you things were not quite right, that knowing that more to the story existed than what you could see on the surface, and now it is all coming to light. Now you are seeing the conversations that were happening about you, the decisions that were made concerning you, the plans that were designed to limit you, and it might shock you, it might hurt you, it might make you angry when you realize how much effort some people put into keeping you down. But here is what you need to focus on. You need to focus on the fact that despite all of it, despite all the working against you, despite all the plotting and planning and scheming, you still won, you still rose, you still overcame, which means all those efforts were wasted, all that energy was pointless, all those schemes were defeated by divine intervention. This is what makes your victory so powerful. This was not just you beating someone in a fair fight. This was you overcoming systematic opposition. This was you breaking through coordinated resistance. This was you succeeding despite people actively trying to prevent your success. And when people understand that, when realization hits about what you overcame to get here, your victory becomes even more impressive. Your breakthrough becomes even more inspiring. Your success becomes even more undeniable, because you did not just win, you won against stacked odds. You won despite the conspiracy. You won when everything was designed for you to lose. Now let me show you something beautiful about how this all played out. Remember how the devil got to use someone, how pride got to make talk happen big, how that mouth ran about how you would never win, how public declarations of dominance and your inadequacy happened. That was the setup for their own downfall, because now when losing happens, just losing the game does not happen. Credibility gets lost, reputation gets lost, the aura of invincibility that got worked so hard to create gets lost. You did not just beat someone, you exposed someone, and the beauty of it is self-infliction happened. You did not have to talk trash, you did not have to make big declarations, you did not have to predict defeat. All of that got done for you. Building up the stakes happened, creating the drama happened, making this moment significant happened, and now living with the consequences has to happen. Now facing everyone who heard the bragging has to happen. Now explaining how the person who supposedly would never win just absolutely dominated has to happen. That is the price of arrogance. That is the cost of underestimating people. That is what happens when your ego writes checks your ability cannot cash. So you won twice. You won the actual competition. And you won the psychological warfare. You beat someone at the game, and you beat someone at the mind game. Replaying this moment in the head is going to happen for months, maybe years, wondering how getting it so wrong happened, wondering how missing what you were carrying happened, wondering how walking into this situation so confident and walking out so defeated happened. And every time thinking about it happens, stinging is going to happen. Every time remembering happens, hurting is going to happen. Because this is not just a loss that can be forgotten. This is a lesson that is going to be carried forever. The person sitting across from you is sinking into that seat right now, looking at the table in disbelief, trying to process what just happened. How did losing happen? How did getting beat this badly happen? How did the person who got dismissed just embarrass someone in front of everyone? And answers do not exist, because no rational explanation exists for what just occurred. This was not about skill matching up against skill. This was about divine intervention. This was about supernatural timing. This was about the universe deciding time had come for a changing of the guard, time for the arrogant to be humbled, time for the underestimated to be elevated, time for the chosen one to step into power, and everyone watching knows it. Everyone at this table understands what just happened. You did not just win a game. You made a statement. You sent a message. You established yourself as someone who cannot be dismissed anymore. Someone who cannot be underestimated anymore. Someone who cannot be talked down to or treated as less than anymore. You changed the entire dynamic. You shifted the power structure. You redefined what is possible, and nothing is going back to how it was before this moment. This is what it feels like to unexpectedly beat the best player. This is what it looks like when a chosen one steps into full authority. This is what happens when divine timing meets human obedience, when supernatural backing meets natural action, when hidden preparation meets public opportunity. You were made for this moment. You were prepared for this confrontation. You were positioned for this victory. And now that it has happened, now that everyone has witnessed it, now that the impossible has become reality, you are stepping into a completely new level of existence. Now let me put you onto something real. Destiny Engine. I built this because I was done watching chosen ones get dragged through betrayal, isolation and attacks while their enemies strutted around unchecked. I want to help you accelerate the speed of your divine justice and step fully into your purpose, and the beauty of it, you don't even have to lift a finger. Destiny Engine takes their downfall and flips it into your rise. This isn't another meditation app. It's declassified consciousness technology, the same mind programming tools your enemies once used to install fear, competition and scarcity, re-engineered to restore your sovereignty and align you with the cooperative, upgraded operating framework. It generates personalized sequences mapped to your divine purpose. The hardest thing you'll do is put on headphones, press play, and watch your enemies keep digging their own grave. The collective upgrade is underway. Start your Destiny Engine for $1 today, and turn everything they did to break you into fuel for your rise. Link in the description. Your life just changed. Your reputation just shifted. Your trajectory just altered. The doors that open from this moment forward are different from the doors that were available before. The conversations you have access to now are elevated from what you could access yesterday. The opportunities that come to you moving forward are upgraded from what was possible before, because you proved something, you demonstrated something, you revealed something about yourself that cannot be unseen or unknown or ignored. You are not the same person who sat down at this table. You are transformed, elevated, established, and everyone knows it. So what do you do now? You take this momentum and you build on it. You take this victory and you leverage it. You take this breakthrough and you expand it. Because this is not the end. This is the beginning. This is the foundation for everything that comes next. This is the launching pad for your next level. This is the proof of concept that gives you permission to dream bigger, aim higher, believe for more. You just did what people said you could not do. You just beat who people said you could not beat. You just won when people said you could not win. So what else are you capable of that people do not know about yet? What other giants can you defeat? What other impossible things can you accomplish? The universe just showed you something about yourself, something important, something powerful, something true. You are not limited by other people's opinions. You are not defined by past failures. You are not bound by natural circumstances. You are operating with supernatural advantage. You are moving with divine backing. You are functioning with spiritual authority. And when those elements combine, when all those pieces come together, you become unstoppable, unbeatable, undeniable. So go ahead, smile at the person across from you who is still trying to process what happened. Smile at the people watching who cannot believe what just got witnessed. Smile at yourself because you just proved something you needed to know. You are exactly who the divine said you are. You are carrying exactly what the universe said you are carrying. You are capable of exactly what your spirit always told you was possible, even when your mind doubted it. You unexpectedly beat the best player. You humbled the undefeated. You shocked everyone watching. And here is the best part, the part that makes this moment even sweeter than it already is. This is not your final form. This is not your maximum potential. This is not the fullest expression of what you are capable of. This is just you figuring out you have spades. Just you realizing you have power. Just you understanding you have advantage. Think of what happens when you fully step into everything you are meant to be, when you completely embrace everything you are meant to carry, when you totally activate everything you are meant to access. The person who underestimated you is sitting there in shock, and that is appropriate, because a preview of your future just got witnessed. The early stages of your emergence just got experienced. The beginning of your dominance just got seen. And if this is what you look like when you are just figuring out your hand, think of what you are going to look like when mastering the game happens, when perfecting your strategy happens, when fully stepping into your authority happens. Nobody is ready for that version of you. But that version is coming. That version is being developed right now. That version is being prepared for future battles. And when that version shows up, when that version takes its seat at the table, unexpected is not going to be the word anymore. Anticipated is going to be the word. Expected is going to be the word. Maybe even feared is going to be the word. But for now, for this moment, enjoy this. Enjoy the shock on faces. Enjoy the shift in the atmosphere. Enjoy the knowledge that you just changed your entire trajectory. You picked up a hand you did not expect. You played cards you did not know you had. You won a game you thought you would lose. And in doing so, you discovered something about yourself that changes everything. You are a winner. You are a champion. You are someone who rises to the occasion when the stakes are highest. You are someone who performs under pressure. You are someone who delivers when it matters most. So congratulations, you just beat the best player. You just won the unwinnable game. You just accomplished the impossible thing. And now you know what you are really capable of. Now you understand what you are really carrying. Now you see what is really possible when you trust the process, play your hand, and let the divine handle the outcome. This is your moment. This is your victory. This is your breakthrough. And this is just the beginning of everything that is about to unfold. Welcome to your new reality. Welcome to your new level. Welcome to the winning side of the table. You earned this seat. Now own it. Now occupy it. Now operate from it with the full understanding that you did not get here by accident. You got here because you were built for this, because you were prepared for this, because you were destined for this. And everyone who doubted you, everyone who dismissed you, everyone who said you did not have what it takes, all of them just received their education. All of them just got their lesson. All of them just learned what happens when you count out someone the universe is backing. And the most beautiful part of this entire situation, you did it without losing yourself. You did it without becoming bitter. You did it without turning into the very thing you were fighting against. You maintained your integrity throughout the process. You kept your character intact during the battle. You stayed true to who you are, even while proving who you are not. And that is the mark of a real champion. That is the signature of authentic power. That is the evidence of divine backing. Because when the universe is with you, compromising to win does not have to happen. Sacrificing your soul to succeed does not have to happen. Becoming less than you are to become more than expected does not have to happen. You just have to show up fully as yourself and let the divine do what the divine does best. Turn impossible situations into inevitable victories. Turn underdogs into champions. Turn the unexpected into the undeniable. So sitting there right now doing calculations is happening, trying to figure out the next move, wondering if befriending you should happen, wondering if recruiting you should happen, wondering if neutralizing you should happen. And while calculating is happening, you are already 3 steps ahead, because you are not operating from strategy alone. You are operating from revelation. You are not just planning moves. You are receiving downloads. You are not just thinking through scenarios. You are being guided through decisions, and that gives you an advantage that will never be closed. Playing checkers with a chess mindset is happening on one side. You are playing chess with divine instruction. It is not even a fair fight. It never was. Do not become what you beat. Do not adopt the characteristics of the person you just humbled. Do not let victory turn you into the villain. Stay who you are. Stay rooted in your values. Stay grounded in your purpose, because your power does not come from being better than others. Your power comes from being aligned with the divine. Your strength does not come from dominating people. Your strength comes from being surrendered to purpose. Your authority does not come from proving you are the best. Your authority comes from accepting you are chosen. And as long as you remember that, as long as you honor that, as long as you operate from that truth, you are going to keep winning. You are going to keep rising. You are going to keep expanding into everything you are meant to become. So get comfortable in this seat. Get familiar with this feeling. Get used to this level, because you are not going back down. You are not returning to where you were. You are not shrinking back into who people thought you were. You are moving forward from here. You are building upward from this foundation. You are expanding outward from this position. This is your new normal. This is your new baseline. This is your new starting point. And everything that comes after this moment builds on what you just accomplished. Every door that opens from here leads to something greater. Every opportunity that presents itself from this point forward takes you higher. Every connection you make moving ahead elevates you further. You just beat the best player, unexpectedly, undeniably, unstoppably, and the whole game just changed, not just for you, for everyone, because you proved something that needed to be proven. You demonstrated something that needed to be demonstrated. You revealed something that needed to be revealed. The so-called unbeatable can be beaten. The supposedly invincible can be defeated. The allegedly superior can be surpassed. And you are the proof. You are the evidence. You are the testimony. You are the one who did what others said could not be done. And that makes you legendary. That makes you memorable. That makes you the one people talk about when inspiration is needed to face their own impossible situations. This is your legacy moment. The story that gets told, the victory that gets referenced, the breakthrough that gets celebrated. Not just now, not just today, but for years to come, for generations to come, for everyone who needs to know that unexpected victories are possible, that divine backing makes the difference, that chosen ones really do win when it matters most. You just gave the world proof. You just gave your bloodline evidence. You just gave yourself confirmation. You can do this. You did do this, and you will do it again, because you unexpectedly beat the best player, and that changes everything.